Greetings and welcome to my gaming library by Finirun. Today we are looking at Startopia, which is a small, nice little game that is made by Murkyfoot. The only game made by Murkyfoot. They're founded by former Bullfrog employees, and it really shows in the way the game is made. It has a lot of the same things you can see in Theme Hospital and Dungeon Keeper. You can see the inspiration from there. Well, let's have a little look here. This is a completed game, so you can see there's 10 missions in total and there's 5 tutorials. I'm just gonna take one of the earlier one here and later on show you a little more advanced one. The missions are built up around the different species there in the game. The Gulian, Workers, Grey, Tark, Turakan, Kamarama, Catavagarian, Sedan, Pulvakian, and Siren. They all have different things they like to do. I'm gonna show off each of the aliens in there. And it's generally centered around what they like to do. The Grulians are just your basic workers. Greys are, for example, medics. So in this one you will focus on medic, although you will have more objectives in that. You're gonna take the Turakans, which are researchers. You have a robot that tells you your missions and give you a basic tutorial hints from time to time if you need it. I have just shut it up here, but you start here with the basic facilities. You do that in most of the missions. If you play your own, you will have to do it from scratch. More or less. You will, of course, have the energy collector. And some scussers. The scussers are the workers. They will, these tiny robots will go around and build things. So let's build this energy collector. Right here. The energy collector is where you store your resources. It's doubled as both money and power, so if you have a little energy, you will not only not be able to afford anything, but you will also not be able to run some of your buildings. You can turn them off. Now the energy collector is up and running, we can build the other buildings here. These are what you basically need to have the basic facilities to have your thing up and running. The port is where aliens arrive. This one is where they eat. This is to charge your droid. They will run out of power, so having that one is pretty good. Let's wait with this. This is where the alien gets cleaned. Wait, that is where the droids are charged. This one boosts your power. It works as an extender of your power, so you can run more room with a lower energy. And this one is where the alien sleeps. Well, to begin with, you will get more advanced buildings. And if you're familiar with Theme Hospital, this mechanic will be quite familiar. You will be quite familiar with it. It's more or less similar to how you build rooms in Theme Hospital. Some of the rooms can be built like this, while others are just placed. Also, you can get more space, although from time to time it will cost you money. In the missions, in the earlier mission, it don't. Later on, they start costing money. In single-player skirmish games, it will cost you money right off the bat. Now, this is basically the basic. Now I'll show a little further in. This will basically be the last mission, but there is no spoilers really, since the missions are more like you will see in Theme Hospital. The story arc isn't really. It's just you're a station manager and, well, you're managing stations. Now as you see, I have a little more busyness going on here. I got a lot more buildings like this and this and this, I'll explain a few of them, but really when you play the game, most of them get explained as you go along. And some of them even have mission connected to them. The mission I just showed actually is connected around doing research, which these guys are really good too. Doing here.
You cannot beam that up.
I don't want to beam him up. You can see here the Turrican, they're researchers. These guys here, they are basically communicating. This one is used to communicate out with traders and emergency calls and things like that. And here we get a trader. This is how traders come. This is then, they will tell you what they are. But you can also hear it on the way the language sounds. So you could accept them here, they will come. There's a bomb on the station, I'm just gonna ignore it. Somewhere on this station you're then a bomb, you can then beam it up and place it in the recycler if you want to. You'll probably just blow up at some point. This will happen on larger missions. You will have spies infiltrating you. Now, here we have the medic. It's manned by Greys, who, well, they're good medical.
A merchant ship has docked.
Well, now the merchant ship dock, so you can do here, and then you can trade with them. For example, I got a lot of medical supplies, although they're not too happy about it. That's how it's all. Also have these technologies. Once you get them, you can just unpack them and you will be able to buy it. Up here you have the one-off building. So if I buy one of these, I can only build it once. Up here that is content to a room. Either here, out here, or, well, slug bar unit needs to go into a slug bar. And then there's all this.
Rehabilitation successful. You have been paid 1,000 E.
Where you do research, and they have currently
The merchant ship has departed.
improving things. And this is the prison where you rehabilitate criminals and get money for it. Now let's look over here. This is the recycle area. This is where you will make some of your money early in the earlier missions. Arona, this is a special trader. He will appear in all of them and he don't need space dock, although he's often more expensive. Now, back here. You can basically beam anything up here and place it here if you can beam it up. Beam it up is what you do when you... Well, let's see. Click him. It's a bit similar to Dungeon Keeper's pick up minions. And you can place it where you want. You can also pick up dirt and dead bodies and all kind of refuge lying around. And beam it over here. Of course, you can pick up buildings. Also, your scossers here, your basic workers, will go around and pick up any litter lying around and put it in here. Now I only showed off this deck, but you actually have more. You have a total of 3. Down here you have basic facilities, like the recycling. Also this factory, which they can produce hardpan, equipment, technology, droids, basic cargo. Yeah, you can produce some of it, what you can sell to the...
You'd think some of these advanced races would have invented a suitcase, wouldn't you?
And over here we have the cargo hall, where they store all the goods you get from various places.
A starquake has been detected. Prepare for incoming shockwave.
And there are also random events where things will happen. I'm just gonna continue explaining the alien races. These small guys here, the first you get, they're very good at manning the recycling plant and the factory. Well, they will man it. And I had another one going over here. These are basically your fighters and your security guards. They're really good fighters, and they will man the security station that controls security towers, but I don't think I have any of right now. They're basically turrets that can shoot enemies. Now I'll see if I can find any more. Well, there's a certain monk. The icon over the head means they belong to a player. In this case, mine. You can easily hire anyone you see around here. You can check their skills, and then you can click here to hire it if you want to. This Saturn monk. Well, let's go. There came the shockwave. Let's go up here. They will form up here a temple, and they will then convert aliens, and you'll then get money for each conversion. There's a time mission based around that. The others up here are the Kamarama farmers. They basically plant plants which you then can extract and get, in this case, alien artifacts out of. The different terrains. Up here you can really play around with the terrain and change it around. Different terrain types will get you different type of plants that will give you different types of stuff. All terrain types have two different plants, a big one and a small one. You can also beam up trees if you want to plant them in pots. And this
there is a solar flare in progress. One of your Tarakan residents has quit and is leaving the
is
station.
a really nice thing. Solar flare will basically just boost your energy. Really nice way of getting resources on. Up this deck you can't really build anything here. But a lot of aliens will go up here to relax. Depending on the terrain you have, they'll be more or less happy. Now down here, this is where you build all the facilities that cater to entertainment's need. There's some leather. I could beam up and put it in the recycle. Then, like shops where they can buy things, a disco where they can dance, and you can build some more advanced sleeping places like this Star Motel. And this is the penitent that is being converted by the set-in monks. They will then turn into something like this. I don't think I have any slugs. The one I
The solar flare has ended.
traded with earlier was the slugs. They basically, you cannot hire them, but they will. Well, they will spend a lot more money than most of the alien races, other races. And the last one that I haven't talked about are the sirens. They will man this place, and it's basically, well, first of all, they're the only race that has a female and a male version. And as you can see, this is called a love nest. And they will then give love to aliens that need a little loving. And you'll get some money out of that. Easy, give him some love. Anyway, that is the basic of the game. You can get a lot of different things to dress up your things, your corridors as well. There's corridor items, and there are also some unique ones that you can only buy from merchants. This game has a free play mode where you can pick up to 4 opponents, single player, or you can, well, 3 opponents total. You can be 4 in total. Or you can play multiplayer up to 4 people. And of course there's some missions. I would say this is well worth it. And I'm currently running the CD version on a Windows 64-bit 7 Ultimate. And it's running pretty smoothly. The game is also available on GOG and should run on new operating system from there. I would highly recommend it, as this is one of the more interesting managing games out there. And with that, this is Vinnyman, and if you want to know what the next game is, well, you just have to tune in next Saturday. Ah well. And I can hear fighting going on.